Why do people fail at sales? In this podcast on Gods of Regret, we will point out some of the things that make people fail at sales. Often, a lack of genuine product knowledge or an inability to effectively communicate its value leads to distrust and disinterest from potential customers. Insufficient prospecting and follow-up, combined with poor listening skills and a focus on pushing a sale rather than understanding customer needs, further hinder success. Moreover, a lack of resilience in the face of rejection and inadequate sales training and support systems can create a cycle of discouragement, ultimately leading to failure. Now, Gods of Regret.
Gods of Regret.
Gods of Regret.
Gods of Regret.
Welcome back. I hope the last video was very informative about the first impressions you make on your clients or people that you want to meet. This sales video is about why do some salespeople fail at sales. It's very important. There are many factors why salespeople fail. The first most important thing that I've noticed in the last 30 years is that salespeople fail at sales is primary training. Okay? Training is very important, and the way you sound on the phone, and those things put together will really make you a bad salesperson. Sales is not about killing it, destroying it, making all the money. You have to build rapport with the people that you want to sell products to. Rapport is very important. Relationships are important. Okay? Whenever you meet a new client, as I mentioned in my last video, is that send them a handwritten note thanking them for meeting with them. Because nowadays, the problem we have is emails, texting. Nobody calls each other. Nobody meets each other. And it's become very impersonal. So if 10 salespeople is doing that, you are not doing that. You are sending notes, thank you notes. And you could actually make it a habit of every 6 months, send a handwritten note thanking your client for their business. They will remember you. One of the things I've learned in the last 30 years when I was doing sales, even now, is when you're talking to someone on the phone, they can see in their brain what you look like. Okay? They put this voice in their mental head. And if you're frowning, if you had a bad day, if the coffee's not kicking in, and for those young people that are doing the Red Bull, which is really bad for you, but you're doing the Red Bull and you're calling like you're in a boiler room, the person listening to you knows how you sound, how you look. So here's a pro tip for you, okay? In front of your computer, either have the camera on or have a mirror. And when you're talking to your client, look in the mirror at all times. The way you look in that mirror or in that camera is how the client is seeing you in their head. So smile in the camera or smile in the mirror. And what that does is that transmits your voice into a happy place. You become happy. Did you know that your voice becomes happy? And they're like, oh, this is a great guy or great gal. They sound so bubbly and happy all the time. It's because your facial structure mimics your voice. And you've noticed it most of the time. You meet a friend that you know very well, and you ask them, they're not themselves, and you ask them, what's wrong? They're like, nothing's wrong. And you're like, no, something's wrong with you, right? You're not the same. That's because you know how they are, right? Their brain is telling their body something's wrong, and in turn, you see it. And that's the same way why salespeople fail, is because not only they sound bad on the phone, like they're not smiling. Second, they're pushing the product on somebody that thinks of you as just pushing the product. So, and if you have no rapport, you have no relationship with this client of yours, you're just another number and you could be replaced by another vendor. And remember this, if you're not talking to your customers, if you're not talking to your clients, someone else is. Okay? Someone else is always talking to your client and they want to steal that client away from you. Okay? So this is the reason why you fail. But you also need to have the tools necessary to make these sales happen. First is training, as I mentioned. Your company has to be behind you. Your customer skills has to be above normal. Look at it this way. If you go to Walmart, okay, the customer service sucks, okay? You're just a product and you're buying a cheap product and nobody cares about you. But if you go to Whole Foods, okay, you're paying much more for the same banana, but the people there have a better training, have a better company behind them, and their customer service is way better, okay, because they're happy to be there. They're happy to serve you. As a result, you buy more from Whole Foods at a very expensive price. It's the same banana. Banana costs what, $1, $2 at Whole Foods and maybe 50 cents at Walmart. But you know at Walmart you're not getting the great customer service. You know, people don't care. Sometimes you see fights, okay? So the reason most salespeople fail is their communication and the lack of rapport they have with their clients. And you always want to make sure you're in constant contact with your clients, telling them what's going on, what the company's doing, what's coming in the future, educating them at the same time. Because through education, they will also appreciate you more. Okay? Little information goes a long way. I hope you like this video here in Gods of Regret. More to come. Subscribe. All right, next week I'll see you. That's it for today on Gods of Regret. If you felt the sting of missed opportunities or the thrill of insight, subscribe and stay with us. We're just getting started. Remember, blink and you'll miss the future. Next time.
Gods of regret remind us of our past missed opportunities, how we long to go back and change things. Gilgamesh, the famous hero, had regret over killing, particularly Humbaba, stems from a profound shift in his understanding of mortality and the value of life. Initially, his slaying of Humbaba is fueled by a desire for glory and a defiant assertion of his own power against death. However, as the epic progresses, the death of Enkidu, his closest companion, forces Gilgamesh to confront the fragility of existence. This experience fundamentally alters his perspective, transforming him from a warrior seeking heroic conquests to a man grappling with the devastating consequences of violence. He begins to see the lives he took not as mere obstacles to overcome, but as irreplaceable losses, leading to a deep-seated regret that underlies the epic's exploration of grief, mortality, and the human condition.